Everyone says electric cars killed the manual, but this one has a clutch and is daily driven. A Toyota Celica has always been cool, and this one hits the nostalgia hard and is faster than when it was brand new.
So, Baudelio, I've been really excited to talk to you about this car. It's one of one, absolutely gorgeous, and it's a 5-speed.
It's 4, actually.
4.
It's a 4-speed.
And so it's a 4-speed.
It's a 4-speed. It's a little funny because it was originally an automatic car. These cars do come with 5 speeds, so you're not wrong.
Okay.
It would originally came with a 5-speed, but I've used Toyota 4-speed transmissions because of their gear ratio. And this transmission, like I got it off of a pickup truck, but I've ran this same transmission in Camaros and Mustangs. Like I've put, this is kind of one of my go-to transmissions.
Tried and true.
It's a tried and true 4-speed. It's immaculate for what I need it for. It's geared right. I guess let's just look at it that way, right? It's geared very well. But yeah, this is my 1984 Celica. The color scheme is Lunar Rock with the black accents, so it's a modern Toyota color. I went out of my way to choose something like that. Just because it looks nice, but it's also, a lot of these modern colors are just, they give the car a whole different feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the fact that it's a Toyota color on a Toyota car, I'm not purist, but I like things that match.
Yeah.
And I like that, kind of like how you geeked out with that Mustang and a Mach-E battery.
Yeah.
That was, I did that purposely, So, but yeah, I could show you under the hood or just go to the interior, whatever you want to look at.
Let's start under the hood.
All right, so let me pop the hood open.
And then this is probably going to be a big surprise for people who just stumbled across this video and are seeing this Celica and they go, wow, that's a really cool paint job on the Celica. It looks really well sorted. I wonder what it has under the hood.
Well, everyone's always surprised like that. So one of the things is you can't tell it's an EV. Right?
No.
Like no one ever knows it's an EV. Half the time they're even looking under the hood and they can't really tell until someone says, hey, I think that's electric. But they know it's different, right? So.
And so people connecting the dots here, we just spent a little bit talking about the 4-speed transmission in here, and now it is an EV, which is a very unique combination and super cool.
Yeah, it's stellar. I'm running ID4 batteries on this as well. This has the lower voltage Hyper 9 setup to it. It runs an Orion BMS.
That's the Hyper 9 back there.
Yeah, it's the Hyper 9 there.
And this is the battery pack.
That is the battery pack, right? It just kind of goes linear that way.
These are Duracell batteries, it looks like?
Yep, right. 9 volts gets us there.
There's one big 9.
Yeah, one big 9 volt, I'm glad you caught it. Some people still don't dawn on. I need to put the sticker that says Duracell. I haven't got to that part yet. The vehicle itself has been, it's again, like the Mustang, the cars that I own are more like test beds. Like this vehicle will not end its life like this. But I'm not going to touch it anytime soon because this is actually a daily driver. I think one of the things I was talking to you about, I probably have about 60,000 miles on this vehicle.
60,000 on a conversion?
Yes, I drive and drive and drive. I think I was telling you when I had the shop out in Claremont, back and forth every day.
Yeah.
Right. Then I still had to run errands, so I put miles on this car. I put a lot of miles, and I monitored a lot of things I needed to monitor along the way. So
it's a rich data logging over that 60,000 miles.
Yep. Because it's a lower voltage motor, it pulls higher amperage, so it's almost like I'm stress testing the batteries.
Oh, interesting.
That's kind of where I was telling you that sometimes stuff like this, like again, it's a Hyper 9 motor. It's really great. Like for a car that's just being driven as a car, it's stellar. It has the pretty good balance of performance, the longevity to it, and it's small.
Yeah.
Right? And then, I have an adapter that went right to the transmission. So cost-wise, there's less engineering involved, I guess you would say. Mm-hmm. The other thing is, like, this is it. There's no more EV in this car other than what you're looking at under the hood. There's other than a charge port in the back. Charger's here, BMS is here. It's all under the hood of the car.
And the entire pack is right here?
Yes. That is it.
How big is the pack?
It's about a 30 kilowatt battery
30 kilowatt battery pack.
I get about anywhere between, I would say 90 and 120 if I'm like just really, really, really trying to get 120. But most of the time, a solid 100, easy 80, 90, right? But it's if I want more than that, I'm not driving it like a regular car. I'm very so I'm hyper mileage. I know how to do that as well.
Yeah.
I go to Angeles Crest. By the time I get up the hill, I'm always kind of nervous, right? Because I've consumed all this energy. When I come back down the hill, I end up with more energy than I did going up the hill. Like, I let it coast, let it regen more aggressive. I do all sorts of things, and I've been able to squeeze about 120 out of the car if I do those kind of maneuvers where I'm just continuously goofing around with like regen, coast, and just back and forth. But regular driving,
hypermiling my stick shifts back in the day with gas cars.
Yeah, I did too.
Does the EV, does it help having the different gears so you can choose like, oh, I'm gonna regen real hard, just put it in first.
So you can, you can, especially coming down hills like that. But the regen is also kind of counterintuitive sometimes. So sometimes you just want completely off the regen. Like you don't want regen at all because you're slowing down more than you would capture anyways.
Okay.
So you just need coasting. So and that's one of the biggest things that I noticed where I'm going to try to work it into the design of that or this one. But I want to dial that in a little better than what I have going on right now. Right now, it's a little button that I toggle between, right?
Okay.
But I really want to set that up a little better where it's more natural because it was huge. The amount of difference in range when you could hyper mileage a car. Like I watch amperage, so when I show you the interior, you'll see my display on everything I monitor as I drive.
Yeah.
So.
Well, let's check that out right now.
Yeah, cool. So.
Yeah, I'll come around this side. Or whichever way.
You come in here and I'll just go I'll go on the other end. Right, so.
Oh, it's a clean interior too.
Oh, I had it redone. I took it all off, took it to my upholstery guy. I bought the fabrics and I got it from a retro upholstery shop that's still stocked, like new old stock. And I was trying to get as close to 80s feel, but modern at the same time. So it normally didn't come with the black. It came with like a suede kind of thing, but it did have a fabric center. But I wanted the black that looks sportier,
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
So I'll get so I run the torque app. It's compatible with the Orion, and sometimes the Bluetooth knocks off, but you're there, you see. So I watch amperage, both positive and negative. I'm able to see my charge current limits, my discharge current limits, and I'm also able to see my cells and my high temp, low temp scenario. These guys are very important for diagnostics. When things start to occur with the battery, it's like your BMS is starting to derate, based on certain parameters. So I'm always watching the cells and the temperature and seeing what my BMS is flagging. Is the BMS stepping in to limit? And that's kind of where I'm always watching those two there, So, but yeah, that's my display. It made it look all retro too. Like made it match the era of the car,
What is it like daily driving a car like this? Not only being a classic from the 80s, but also an EV.
So I don't want to say I don't like gasoline cars. I do. They have their place, and they definitely have their rumble and their own form of acceleration as well. That's immaculate. But I would say the ease of of driving the vehicle. I mean, it's a stick shift car in LA that sometimes you get stuck in traffic on. And I know that's a big one sometimes when people are driving a manual trans car.
Yeah.
Whereas just like if you're in traffic, it's not the most fun thing to want to do. You really got to be on your toes to not stall the thing or
ride the clutch.
Yeah, ride the clutch. And that's the biggest thing that stands out to me is that these engines don't stall. I could literally leave it in one gear, get my foot off the throttle, not have to push clutches or nothing, just stop, hold the brake and stop, and then step on the accelerator and go. And it's almost like a manual automatic hybrid scenario, And that I would say was the biggest standout, and I'm glad you asked that question because I deal with a variety of different customers that have never driven anything like this, right? And oftentimes, again, because of the budget or the design criteria, sometimes I tell them it's the most affordable thing is to keep your manual trans and move forward. And they're like, oh, I don't know how to drive a stick shift, because they're nervous of the whole gasoline manual setup. And I try to explain to them that's a complete different world when you have an EV conversion with a manual, and it's seamless.
Yes.
You know, so that stands out to me quite a bit. That it's a manual, and I don't have to ever think about that part to it.
Totally.
You know? So
the quality of life manual. You could leave it in third.
Yeah.
The entirety of a drive if you wanted.
Yeah. You just accelerate slowly, but it goes like a car. Like it's just, you know, it's like it's just how you said. You just leave it in one gear if you want to, right, and just pep along. You know, so.
This car must get attention in traffic too, I imagine. Do you get a lot of people thumbs up?
I get thumbs up all day long.
Oh yeah.
Right, all day long. You know? So I drive the car every day. Like I said, I got a bunch of miles on it, and then you're gonna notice the mishap I had 2 days ago. Right?
Oh
so,
no.
I'll have to get it repainted, right, and done up again. But that's what happens with a driver. That's what happens with a driver. And again, when I talk to customers, like you see the Mustang that we did, that candy was gonna come in at about $45,000 when we were originally going towards it. You did something like this to your candy paint job, and it's going to be really bad.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be very, very expensive to mitigate. This is not going to cost me too much to fix. You know, it's right. We'll do the blend, take care of it. Right. So
gets to live its best car life.
Yeah.
Well, I have one more question for you. Can we drive it?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Right. We'll go for a spin.
All right.
Right. So cool.